What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first ever vlog. Technically it's not the first ever vlog, it's just the first one that I'm putting vlog in front of. So anyway, before you guys ask, no, this mic does not work. It's not plugged in or anything. I just really like it, and it makes me look more official, so I will be using it. Today is going to be very interesting. I literally thought of this idea probably an hour ago, and by thought of, I mean God told me to do it. So, and my word for the year is obedience, because I'm really stubborn. And so yeah, I can't really quit on day 17th, 18th, I don't know. I can't really quit on day 18. So we're gonna do it. So I am an avid reader. I love to read. I love books. I love stories. I love all of that. And I'm getting raw and real with y'all real quick. So I'm a junior in high school. I have been struggling with lust since my freshman year, on and off. Like I would feel so guilty and stuff, and so I'd give it to God, and then he'd take it and we'd be cool, and then, you know, months later or weeks later or whatever, I'd kind of drift back into it. And I really thought, like, it had been a hot second, I'm not gonna lie, it had been a while since I had struggled with that kind of stuff. And then but then, you know, I'm literally in the middle of a series right now, and I finished the third book last night, and I kind of just looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's literally just straight porn. Will they ban that? Can I say that? I don't know. Anyway, but no, it was really just straight, like, and so I read that last night, and then I woke up and I went to church this morning, and the whole time during service, I'm just hearing, you know, that voice in my head that's like, well, it makes you think that you can just read straight porn one night and then just go to church and act like everything's fine the next day. And honestly, like, I know that was from the devil. I know that wasn't God, that wasn't Jesus, that wasn't, you know, he was just trying to make me feel guilty. He was just trying to make me, you know, I don't know what he was trying to do. He was just trying to get in my head. But it made me think, and I was just like, you know what, he's, in a way, he's kind of right. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to have this as an idol or an addiction anymore. And I want to be, like, extremely clear here. I'm not saying that Spice is a sin, like reading Spice. I'm not saying that it's a sin. I'm not saying that you should not do it. I'm just saying that, like, me personally, I know that it just, like, it feels good in the moment, and it's nice in the moment, and it makes me, you know, blush and giggle and all that stuff. But I know that it makes me feel, it kind of makes me feel farther away from God. So that's me personally. Like, maybe that's not it for you. Maybe I have in the past developed an addiction to it, and idols and stuff that I don't want anymore. So if you read that kind of stuff, like, girl, I get it. Like, I understand, right? So there's no judgment, there's no condemnation, there's nothing like that. I want you to know that me personally, I kind of struggle with that, and I don't want to struggle with it anymore. Like I said before, my word is obedience. So we're kind of starting strong. So now that you know the background, maybe that makes a little more sense. So here's the plan. We're gonna go to McKay's. I'm gonna round up my books first off. I don't have a lot. I've recently gone into buying more books, so I don't have a ton of books to get rid of, but the books that I do have are, like, my favorites. So we're gonna start, you know, baby steps, and we're gonna get rid of it. You know, at the end of the day, I want to be closer to Jesus, and this is just something that's in the way. And, you know, the Bible says that if you hand it over to Jesus, he'll take it, and that he, you know, he wants to be with you, and he wants to help you, and nothing can stop him. So it doesn't really matter what I've read or anything like that. He still loves me, and he still wants me, and you too. So let's get to it.
'Cause life is good, and it keeps getting better. Why would I be stressed when I know who made the weather good? And it keeps getting greater. Why would I be stressed about some stuff that happens later? I'm not sad today. Every day with you's like Saturday. It's good, and it keeps getting better. Why would I be stressed when you work all things together?
All right, we're going my lovely mother. Say hi, Mom. She kind of had, because we were kind of talking about it, and the Lord has also been working on her and books. So she had a verse, and I wanted her to kind of share that verse with you guys because she's a very wise woman. And so, just kind of, what the Lord's been teaching you and what it has to do with this vlog and the verse and stuff.
So Romans 14:14. I know and am persuaded in the Lord Jesus that nothing is unclean in itself, but it is unclean for anyone who thinks it unclean. For if your brother is grieved by what you eat, you're no longer walking in love. By what you eat, do not destroy the one for whom Christ died. So do not let what you regard as good be spoken of as evil. And it goes on. But the gist of it is, if something feels like a sin to you, so if God is convicting you that you're doing this thing that doesn't honor him, whatever that is, if it's reading the wrong books or whatever it is, then it is, and you need to quit doing it because God talked to you about it and he convicted you of it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a sin for me, because I don't struggle with that. That's not something that gets in the way of me and Jesus. So alcohol is a great example. There are plenty of denominations that believe alcohol is a sin. I don't personally agree with that, but I also don't struggle with addictions or alcohol. It's not a struggle for me. It's not a thing that takes priority for me. That then is not to say, though, that there aren't people that need to stay far, far away from alcohol because they have a tendency to let it take over, to let it drive them, to let it, be their center. So I think the gist is that if it's something that gets in your way and gets between you and Jesus, you need to get rid of it. Even though someone else might not consider it inherently a sin, doesn't mean it's something that you can keep doing. Because if God told you to quit doing it, then you need to quit doing it. That's kind of the gist of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We stopped to get lunch. It's tacos. About vlogging. Any wise words for the people that might be struggling with this but don't know that they're struggling with it?
Ask Jesus, because he'll tell you. And if you feel like if you feel a constant kind of a nudge to say, hey, is that a good idea? That's probably Jesus telling you, you might want to consider. And my own personal rule of thumb is, if there's a thing that I'm real attached to, and when I think of, I have a strong attachment to Diet Pepsi. So if there was a time when someone told me I needed to stop drinking Diet Pepsi, I know that's a silly thing, but it's something I love. So if somebody told me I need to stop drinking, it would have made me go, ooh, I don't think I can do that, because that makes me real twitchy. That tells me it's probably got too much control over me. And that's a silly thing, but there's other things in your life. If you're watch sports too much or whatever your thing is, if it's a thing that you can't put down and it makes you twitchy to feel like you have to put it down when it's really upsetting to you, that's probably a sign that it might have too much control over you and you need to let it go. Because the only thing supposed to have that much control over us is Jesus. And the rest of it, it's gotta go.
Okay. It's literally snowing. Bruh. The wait's only an hour, so.
The situation can't make or break me when I was made by you. The season doesn't get to define me when I'm defined by you. The situation can't make or break me when
The snow has gotten heavier. It's snowing harder.
That's that.
And what about judgment, like judging other people?
Oh, no, we are, one of the many things we are commanded not to do is to judge people. So whatever a girl here struggles with, that's between her and Jesus. That doesn't have anything to do with me. And he didn't need my help judging. He's got it under control. So judging, we are specifically commanded not to do. We are to love. The end. So I love her, and I tell her I love her, and that I support her, and if she needs supports, I give her that, and I offer her that. But I don't offer her judgment, because that's between her and Jesus. He didn't say, hey, Jennifer, can you hop in there and let Madeline know what I think of that? He didn't. No, that's not how that went, because that's not my place. That's his place. And when I start doing Jesus' job, we got a problem. So
That's real. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today's vlog. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any recommendations for clean young adult and or Christian related whatever, just let me know. Like, I'm up for, I'll try reading it. I love to read, and I love history, and I love this. So thank you guys so much. I really I appreciate y'all coming along for my first vlog with me with my microphone that doesn't work. And like, I live in the South, not the North. If I wanted to snow, I would move north, but I don't. I live in the South. Anyway, that's it for today. I love you guys. Bye, y'all.